Okay, we are joined by our national champions, head coach Kevin Corrigan, Liam Entenmann, and Pat Kavanagh. We'll do an opening statement from coach and then questions for the student athletes before we release them.
Just after, I don't know how many years of playing and coaching college lacrosse, 40 years. Lost in a championship game when I was playing at Virginia, lost in overtime. I reckon that's it. I don't even need this thing. Just turn it off. I can
We
talk
can
loud
talk fine. Yeah, we'll just talk loudly. I don't want to ever hear that noise again.
All right. So yeah, I mean, losing in overtime as a player in the championship game, losing in overtime as a coach in the championship game, you get so close, and I don't know how I'm supposed to feel right now, and I don't feel this crazy euphoria as much as it's just like this contentment of being able to watch these guys celebrate, on that field in that last game. So, we have a tradition at the end of our last games where we all stay in the locker room and our seniors talk, and they talk about, the experience that they had playing for us and how much it meant to them. And they tell stories, and they just share, kind of great team moments where we talk together. And I've always wanted to have one where we just were so, all the stories were good. They didn't end with a loss and tears. The tears are all going to be from joy. So, yeah, really, really, really so incredibly proud of these guys, and so happy for all of our guys. And not just these guys from this team, who obviously are the ones, but everybody that's played for us for the last 35 years is, I know feels a part of this, because we've all been hearing from them for the last month, right? And they felt like this was a special team that could do this, and I think that helped fuel us as well. So pretty cool.
Liam, Patrick Stevens from Lacrosse Magazine. What did you think was the kind of key defensively for you guys up front there, particularly in the first half, and then kind of regrouping after Duke made its run there in the third quarter?
I think in the first half, I think we just saw, I saw a lot of shots from the perimeter, which are generally speaking shots I like to see. Now, obviously, they have some great shooters like O'Neal and Ledman and some other ones, but generally speaking, I like, the more space or more time I have to react, the better. And that's, I think, what our defense did a great job of in the first half. And then, I mean, obviously, the beginning of the second half, they had a really big run, and that we really got tested. But at the same time, I think what Coach said to us in the locker room at halftime was like, it's a game of runs, and they're a really good team, so they're going to go on a run at some point. And we almost we braced for it. We knew it was going to happen at some point, and it just happened to happen right when we came out of the tunnel at the second half. But we were ready for it, and we knew that we have to regroup as a unit and move forward. And I think we did a really good job of that. I mean, I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think that they scored 9 goals, and I think like 6 of them were in the first half of the third quarter. So really proud of the guys that I'm lucky enough to have in front of me.
Lime, this is Patrick Bernard from Edge Affiliate Sports. First half, you played very, very well, only gave up 1 goal. Second half, they opened the floodgates on you guys. They've created, they tied it up with you guys, and then that fourth quarter, you got back into a zone and you shut everything down. How does that feel? Can you walk us through what was that like? And 2, how does it feel to be the MVP of the game?
I mean, for the first question, I just try to react to the shots. Now, obviously, it's kind of like, kind of a no answer for an answer, but I just really try to see the ball into my stick, and nothing more, nothing less. It's one thing I like to say about the goalie is it's a hard position, but it's pretty simple at the end of the day. And I think that I think I did a good job of that today. But I mean, as far as the MVP stuff goes, I mean, it's obviously an honor. It's a nice recognition, but I mean, one thing that we've been preaching all year is, it's not about the guys that you always see on the field. It's about the guys in the locker room that don't really get a lot of credit from, or attention from the media and stuff like that. But those are the guys that tested me every day of every week, of every, preparation for every team. And I really, and I know it sounds cliche, but I really wouldn't be up here. We wouldn't be champions without the guys that, are the unsung heroes of the team and do all the work behind the scenes.
Matt DeGeorge from the Delco Times. Quinn had that goal from his own half. It seemed like that was one of those opportunistic goals that you guys kind of like to score. How big of a boost was that goal for you, and then for you guys as a team? And how do you kind of describe the opportunism that you guys seem to have on offense off the ground, off loose balls, and being able to turn that into goals?
Yeah, that was a huge goal. I think they're obviously 10-man riding. And Quinn just made a play like all our guys do in big moments. They just make plays. So proud of Quinn for that. He stepped up in a big way today. Yeah, I don't know. He just saw the goal open, shot it, and scored.
Pat, Dan Arestia, Sticks on Lacrosse. You got to take quite the family photo after the game out there. How special is it for you to be playing on the field with Chris for this, and then to also get to share it with Matt and Brendan and the rest of your family?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It started with Matt getting recruited by Coach Corrigan in like 2010 or 2011, making the trip to Long Island, Chaminade, and our house a few times to watch him play. So yeah, it's been over a decade in the making. Me and Chris were this big when Matt was a freshman at Notre Dame, and making the trip out to South Bend every single weekend to watch him play. It's just so many memories. The best memories of my childhood are watching Matt play at Notre Dame. So watching, winning it and then seeing my family after is just so surreal. I don't think it's hit yet, but I owe everything to them and for Coach Corrigan as well for taking a chance on me.
Liam, similar kind of question, just the meaning of being able to be the ones to put that first banner up at Notre Dame for you guys.
It's an incredible feeling. You know, I've been a Notre Dame fan my entire life. I'm not just saying that because I'm on Notre Dame now. I've truly been a Notre Dame fan my entire life. I remember seeing Coach before I committed here at some club tournaments and stuff, and I was starstruck because that's the guy I always wanted to play for. And with that being with being a Notre Dame fan came a lot of heartbreak in 2010, 2014, 2015. So to be able to do it, to be the team to do it is incredible. It's an honor, and just looking up into the stands today and seeing Matt Kavanagh, seeing so many guys that helped build this program up to what it is, and just were just shy of winning it all, and just to see them with tears in their eyes and huge smiles on their faces it's truly one of the best moments of my life, to be honest with you.
John Mark, South Bend Tribune. How much were you guys aware of your coach's history, and did he talk much about that, or what did he say in terms of having been so close so often?
Yeah, he hasn't talked much about it. Me and Liam, like Liam said, he grew up a Notre Dame fan. My brother played here, so me and Liam are both very familiar with the history of Notre Dame lacrosse and how close they've been to a national championship. So we just dedicated so much time and effort to ultimately winning this national championship, and we really wanted to get it done for the alumni, like Liam said, and especially for Coach Corrigan. So for it to actually come to fruition, it's special, it's surreal.
Mandy Shevlin with a lot of sports talk. First of all, congratulations. Second of all, this is the first national championship win for Notre Dame. What does it mean to you individually and as a team to take this one home?
Yeah, like I said, it's surreal. I don't think it's hit yet. Been dreaming about a moment like this my whole life. For me personally, to get it done with my little brother, who's been my best friend since I was born, every step of the way. We've been through everything together, so it's special to do that with him. And then all 57 guys who made a commitment to being their best and being held accountable by the leaders on this team all year. Everyone bought in top to bottom, and it was just such a special group, the most tight-knit locker room I've ever been a part of. And our culture is pretty special, but this year was just different from when we stepped on campus in August. So yeah, to get it done with this group, it's really special.
Pat, 6 different multi-goal scorers today seems like a pretty appropriate way for you to be able to finish up the season. Just kind of how would you size that up, that you guys got contributions from so many different places today?
Yeah, to win a national championship, to be successful in May, you need secondary guys to step up, and that's exactly what happened. We have so much depth and so much confidence in everyone on our team. So guys just making plays, guys just stepping up in big moments when we needed them. So yeah, I was so happy for everyone for stepping up, and it was huge.
Student athletes, let them go back to celebrating with their teammates and pick some questions for Coach.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah.
Gianna Hahn from the Philadelphia Inquirer. I guess, what have you thought overall of the weekend and location and the venue, and what was it like specifically with Quinn McCann having a weekend like this in front of his hometown?
Yeah, I mean, it's first of all, the whole thing has been first class. I mean, we've had a great time since we got here, and really our guys kind of took it as that, you know, and we got some good advice along the way from different people, and some of the best. That we got. John Gordon spoke to our team. He happened to be in South Bend before we were leaving and came over and spoke to our team. And he said, hey, you know, when you're feeling nervous and you're feeling fear and trepidation and all that, just remember, you know, the thing that drives that out best is love. Just love what you're doing. Love the fact that you're here. Love that you got these guys that you love that are with you. You know, if you concentrate on that, the fear and the uncertainty goes away. And so that kind of was a wonderful message for us to have just coming into the whole weekend, you know, and to really enjoy being here in Philly. 2 great days of crowds. Obviously, fantastic lacrosse, you know, from beginning to end, and for our guys, just an unbelievable experience. Yeah, so yeah, wonderful time. Yeah, love that for Quinn and Max Buzenkill and guys, the Philly guys on our team. But guys, we've had guys for a long time from Philly and from a lot of different places. In fact, Will Gallagher, his father Bill played for us, and his father played football at Notre Dame. So families like that from this area that we love, and obviously for them to be here in Philly doing it in front of their friends and families, awesome. Couldn't be more excited.
Considering the history you were talking about, all these close calls, you've seen a 6-1 lead disappear. Now you're tied late in the third. What's going through your head?
Yeah, I told the guys, I said, look, they're going to come back. We're not going to hold them to 1, and so they're going to make some plays, and we're going to have to weather that emotionally and everything else. I didn't think they were going to score 6. And that way and get back in the game that way or that quickly. But, you know, that's lacrosse is a momentum game. It always has been. And you see swings like that. So I didn't want our guys to be freaked out by that, you know. And that's a proud program that I knew was, you know, had a lot of lacrosse left in them. So it wasn't a shock. At the same time, we felt like we kind of contributed a little bit by not making some simple plays and almost trying to make better plays than we needed to make. And so we said, hey, let's just go back to making the simple play, right? And you don't have to make the next level play. If everybody makes a good simple play, that is next level, you know, and that's what we tried to concentrate on. Huge, right? I mean, after you're just taking blow after blow all through the quarter, and then to come back and get 2 and stretch it back out a little bit at the end of the quarter was absolutely huge. No question about that. And thanks for being here from South Bend.
Kevin, Christian with Inside Lacrosse. The very first conversations about the NCAA tournament were in June 1970 at Washington and Lee as part of the North-South game as a breakout. Your father was part of that. May I ask, what is it like for you? You were a kid at that game, I seem to recall from my book.
I was a manager. My brother David and I were the managers for the North and the South, right? And Peter Cohn was our boss. That was, you know, listen, I obviously from, you know, when I was born, my dad was the lacrosse coach at UVA, and there were days where I got dropped off on the school bus at his practice, right? So I've been around this for a long time and have loved it, you know, all those years. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty special. I wish my dad was here to share it with us, but I mean, he lived and died with our games, you know. My brothers, I'm one of 7 kids, and my brothers and sisters always say, yeah, on game days, you're the favorite. There's no doubt about that, you know, and, just because that's the way it is. But no, it's great, yeah, to have seen the whole thing kind of flourish, to see where lacrosse was in the 60s when I was backing up the cage at UVA, right? And I think me and my friends and brothers were the only kids in town with lacrosse sticks. You know, there was no lacrosse in any of the schools there at that time and everything. So, yeah, it's kind of fun to see the whole thing is what's happened to our game and continuing to happen.
Coach, you got some special performances, not just today, but this weekend from Brian Tevlin, from Chris Fake. When you think about those guys who joined the team this year and the contributions that they've made, what really stands out most about them?
First of all, they're great people. And secondly, I don't think it happens without our locker room being in the right place and being the accepting place that it was, right? I mean, for those guys to come in and there's no discontent, there's no bitterness. There are our guys, and if you ask them, they'll tell you the exact same thing. They were accepted from day one by our guys, and I think that says an awful lot about the kids on our team. That's the way they'll go. Hey, if you can help us, and if you're gonna come in and buy into what we do and what we care about and all that, then welcome, you know, and glad to have you. And I think that's a phenomenal thing, you know, when there could be a lot of other reactions. And then the fact that they're such great kids, that they both came in very humbly, didn't come, and that was that group, and they were terrific doing it.
David Melanger of Sports Talk Philadelphia. When Duke opened the game 25 seconds in, you guys responded with 6 unanswered. What was the message you told you guys after Duke scored 1-0 early on?
We didn't say anything. It's lacrosse. We didn't think it was going to be a shutout. So didn't think we'd give one up in 25 seconds, but we didn't think we were going to pitch a shutout. So we just, you know, didn't really react very much, other than saying there's a lot of plays going to be made out here today, you know. So.
Andrew Long with the Chronicle. You know, Notre Dame's last 3 title games have all been played against Duke. 2010, 2014 obviously didn't go y'all's way, and today did. Is there something that feels kind of poetic about getting the first national championship against the team that beat you twice before?
I don't know. You know, honestly, not something I've thought much about, but you know, glad I wasn't disappointed that Duke was the last one standing with us. You know, I thought we were, you know, that was a matchup we felt familiar with, and in a lot of ways, you know, you're preparing on in less than 48 hours. We had 43 hours from the time we kind of finished here till the start of this game today. So we're like, hey, good, somebody we don't have to. You know, we watched a few games just to make sure what changes had they made, but they hadn't done a lot. We hadn't either, you know, for that matter. I mean, we kind of were who we were, and we've played each other 6 times now in the last 3 years. So it's kind of nice to have that familiarity. As for the poetry of the whole thing, I'll leave that to you.
JJ Post, Notre Dame Observer. Coach, after the way the season ended last year, there was kind of a feeling that this season was going to be a bit of a revenge tour. You know, was there any spark in, you know, being excluded last year when the season ended like it did? And if there was, you know, what did it kind of mean to you guys to, you know, come out this year and really play with that fire, you know, that feeling that last year should have been in there, and this year we're going to prove why?
Did last year motivate us and really kind of galvanize this team? Absolutely. Revenge is not the right word, though. It was not about revenge. We from the moment we didn't get into the tournament last year, we said, hey, 2 things. One, we think this is unfair, but life is not fair. Yeah. And 2, the only reason this happened is we left ourselves vulnerable to this happening, and that's on us. So we're not going to bitch and moan. We're not going to call people names. We're not going to blame other people and everything else. We're going to say, from this moment forward, let's do what we can do to make sure this doesn't happen again to us next year. I don't think that's revenge. I think that's kind of accountability and owning up to what you had control of, and that's what our guys did, and that's why I'm so proud of them. I don't think you've ever heard one of our guys, complain in any public way about last year. And I think that's awesome, right? For young men as disappointed as they were, to not, whine and complain about it, I think that's awesome. And then for them also to say, here's what we do about it. We don't just cry about it. We get on with it and take care of it. I think that's says an awful lot about the character of the kids in our program. How do I celebrate? Oh man, I got a big old family here, and that are all over the place, and I've got 58 guys that are leaving on Wednesday for Germany for 10 days. We're taking our team on our 7th foreign tour. Tomorrow night we're going to do a clinic out in the suburbs here that we set up as a way to thank the Philadelphia lacrosse community for supporting the Final Four for youth and middle school kids tomorrow. So that, and then we leave on Wednesday for Germany. So we got plenty of time to celebrate this, and I can't wait. Huh? We don't go back to South Bend. We're staying in our hotel for the next 2 days and then flying to Germany. So pretty great way to go out. It would have been a whole different experience, I guess, if we'd have lost today. But I'm glad now it all worked out well. All right. Thank you so much.